Hi and Assalamu alaikum, welcome to my channel. Here I am completing a course in preparation for my trip to Jordan to go and visit the displaced Syrian and Palestinian refugees that are living in Jordan refugee camps. So I went through a few courses, taking about 3 or 4 days to complete this training so that I would be fully prepared for the ground. And here I'm just doing one of the quizzes right now. In this video, you're going to see the first couple of days of my trip, the travel, and then the first day of meeting the refugees. Here you can see some examples of things that you can donate if you go on a deployment. But do check with your organization before you decide to pack any items to donate. I also trimmed my nails short so that I could get hands-on in the field. After weeks of prep and fundraising, we finally made it to the airport, and the queue was very long for the airline that we were traveling with. We found a prayer room there near gate 20, that's at Terminal 1 in Manchester, which I thought I'd show you how to get to because it's not always easy to find. It's on the ground floor down the lift. After praying, it was time to board the plane, and then I found this amazing travel pillow that's got an inbuilt massager. And after lugging around so much heavy luggage, this is exactly what my neck needed for some relief. It's rechargeable too, which makes it super handy for traveling purposes. And then it was time for takeoff, and you can hear the little children at the back so excited about their flight. It's funny that on almost every flight this year, I've had a child behind me kicking me almost the whole way, and a person in front of me leaning their seat right back. I appreciate the serenity and the beauty of nature so much. SubhanAllah, look at the skies in different times of the day, and here we landed. Yep, the kids were excited again, even on landing. At the time that this video is uploaded, I am still currently present in Jordan. If you would like to donate to this cause, please see the description for more details. Your donations will really go a long way to help the plight of these wonderful people, so please consider making a donation. I'm in the biggest group that Action for Humanity has ever taken on deployment, so there was a lot of luggage to fit into our minivan, but somehow the drivers managed to do it and fit it like a jigsaw puzzle. While they were working on that, I took a look around and spotted these beautiful palm trees. I absolutely love palm trees. And then we made our way to our accommodation, and by the time we got there, I think it was already well after midnight, and I think we went to bed at around 4 a.m. There is a brand of Coke in Jordan called the Matrix, which is really popular. Now comes the first day of our work, where we are meeting with refugees and learning about their needs and requirements. We were also interested in hearing their stories and learning about how their lives changed after they moved to Jordan. Palestinian refugees came to visit us from several different camps across the country. You will see raw footage of these meetings and also see the interpreter who was kindly translating Arabic for me.
We're going to separate each table. One of them is going to sit with Arabic so that he can translate to you what they are talking, okay? So now we're going to separate the tables.
So the only thing that we need to make sure that they understand is firstly that we're grateful, I'm saying it now so that our group knows what we're talking about. We are very grateful that they have given their time. We want to make sure that we're sharing their stories with the wider community. Also, it's important to know that we will be filming. If anybody doesn't want to be filmed, please don't feel obliged. We will always, the thoughts of the people come first.
طيب احنا عشان للأمانة
Vision and Purpose, which is for orphans and abandoned girls after the age of 18, and it's a program through His Majesty with the sponsorship of His Majesty and Her Royal Highness. And the idea of it that we take the girl from the orphanage directly from the age 18 to 24, and then we work on her psychologically, emotionally. We get her back to school and to university, and then we provide her with a decent job opportunity, and we integrate her in the local community. The idea of the importance of women empowerment, and I'm talking about Gaza women, that they will start doing the research about her, because I've had a lot of questions that how did she stood.
That's right.
Yeah, and I told them that the idea of this, or the whole thing, is believing in God and believing in destiny. So we are a destiny people that believe that whatever happens to us is from God, and we believe that it's for the goodness.
واليوم الحرب 7 أكتوبر بس طلعنا على من عبسان صغيرة على شريط الحدود ساكنين هناك، فطلعنا من عبسان على بلسين قعدنا فيها شهر كامل. اجانا احنا من الجيش احنا نخدم بني سويد، رحنا على مدارس البكالة في خان يونس، قعدنا بمدارس البكالة 4 شهور. وانا 4 شهور طعمت هذول الشهرين، ال4 شهور في المدرسة.
So she's saying that when the war started, this war, the last one, October 7th, her and her family evacuated to school in Khan Yunis. She had 10 children, and the last one she just gave birth to him. He was like very tiny, and she couldn't feed him because there was no milk due to the fear, and he was very, very thin. He was basically a few like he was like skin on,
like a skeleton.
Exactly, it was like a skeleton. They stayed there for a while, and everyone around her would feel pity on her because, you know, he's in a very difficult situation. They were afraid that she might lose him any minute, and she was obviously like she just gave birth to him, so she was also herself very tired, physically and emotionally, and she had another like 9 children with her. She had to take care of them.
بنتي معاها الكبد الوبائي، حمل وباء من غزة. فكانت الحالة صعبة، يعني عيني تنتج دم وبتفن دم. الكبد كان متطور، عيني العلاقة، عندي وظائف الكبد كانت 4500. عزلت 6 شهور عن الأولاد.
ما زالت بالتابع.
وما زال للحين وظائف الكبد عندها.
So she's saying also that one of her daughters, she had this severe disease. I don't know the exact translation for the disease, but she used to spill blood out of her mouth, and she was in very critical condition for a while, and they had to actually keep this daughter away from her children, the other children, so they would be infected in a way, and it was very difficult until they evacuated and they started treating her.
I heard a story from this lady as well earlier, where you said that her child developed incontinence because of the fear of being in Gaza. So when he came here,
came to Jordan, it took him only 2 months, and it stopped on its own without any treatment because the fear is gone right now. He feels safe.
And also we spoke to this lovely couple as well, and they had a child who came here with a tumour in the brain and was also treated for that, and mashallah is much better. So alhamdulillah, they found some respite in this country.
So what they're saying basically is each one of them, like there are few families that have family members who are living already in Jordan. So when they came here, they lived together. Due to like financial problems, they couldn't stay together. But these people didn't have any family members who were living here before the war. So they're basically all alone. They have no one. But organizations like yourself and like yours, so that we can help them or provide them housing and food, work, anything that can help them. Also health care and stuff like that. So,
I see. So you're telling me that they just told you something about food and dua?
She was saying, we were asking them how are they this resilient and what is the secret behind this? So they mentioned a few du'as and a few verses from the Quran that they believe in deeply because of their trust in God and their faith. And they're saying, one of the women actually started saying that once there was no food at all at home, and then she started crying, and then she said she turned to Allah and she made this dua, and she used a few like verses in Quran, and she asked, and then all of a sudden God provided her with food. Someone came in and gave her food, so they all started sobbing because they all had similar situations like this.
Alhamdulillah. Miracles exist. Alhamdulillah.
What she's saying right now is
And she's holding the camera for me very kindly.
Okay, what she's saying basically is the message is stop the war. Please stop the war, because 6 months she evacuated. She came to Jordan with her children, but her husband is still there, and the children, they need their father. And right now they're suffering from, like, forget about everything, about fear and about the bad circumstances they're living, the tents, the rain that's coming soon, winter, and the lack of food, the lack of medication, the lack of everything. Right now, her children are still suffering, even though they're living here, even though it's peaceful here, but they're still suffering. One of her daughters, actually, she's in 9th grade, and she won't leave her room at all. She locks herself all the time. She sees nobody, and she's suffering from some kind of a PTSD, right? And
PTSD is devastating.
Yes, and she won't leave. She won't see anyone. And whenever they try to talk to her to leave, she won't. So, as a mother, to see what's happening to her children, and to not be able to reach her husband, and to let them, you know, she's gonna be like suffering all the time. Her heart will be lit on fire, and so her message is not only for Arabs, for the entire world, is please stop the war.
Stop the war, to understand, to empathize with these people. They're humans just like you and I, and they just need the normal comforts of day to day that everybody needs in the world. They have a right, they have human rights just like all of us. And we need to understand that and empathize with their situation, feel for them, and do what we can to stop this madness.
And the fact that if they left, it doesn't mean that the war and the effect that happened stopped. It's still going, and it didn't stop. So it's gonna be ages before they're going back as human beings and going on normally with their lives.
Yeah.
So it needs to stop now.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much for sharing this message.
Palestine!